With most forms, you'll want to make sure that you complete the validation, meaning that if the user does not input the amount of information that you need or they do not enter it correctly, then you will want to make sure that the form is validated. In this class, you will need to make sure that all your forms are validated using JavaScript, not HTML5. In this lecture, you can see here that I have a simple form. In my form, I have a couple of input fields. We have one for the name, email, zip code, country, which will give you several different options. And when you hit the submit button, it will give you whether everything's been submitted correctly or it will error out. So if I hit submit right now, it'll say please provide your name. Let me put the name in. Same thing for the email. Let me try to do an email here. Hit submit again. Once again, I need a zip code. And then last but not least, provide your country. Oh, my file wasn't found. However, it did go and submit the command that I told it to do. And the validation did work correctly. In the code, you should have the layout pretty much like it is every single time. You'll have an index file, any CSS to style it, and your JavaScript file should always be in an external folder called JS. Let's go ahead and open the files. Here we have the index page, which is pretty simple. We have a form with an action, and in the form we gave it a name of my form. On submit, it's going to return a validate function. Here we have the information for the name, the email, zip code, country, and then obviously the submit button here at the end. Let's go ahead and look at the validation code. It's pretty simple, not much to it. I always do a console log just to test and make sure that the links are all correct and that your main.javascript file is loaded and working. We're going to go into a function named validate. If document.myForm, remember we got this from the HTML itself, we called it myForm, then we're taking the name or the value in the name input box. Alert, if it's empty, it's going to say please provide your name. Otherwise, it's going to prevent the default action and stop the bubbling from happening and return the focus back on the name. Next, we have the email. It works pretty much the same way. So document, my form, email, value. If it is empty, then we're going to go ahead and provide your email address. Next here, we'll have the zip code. And what this says is we're going to take the form with the property value if it's empty, or if it's not a number, or if it's not 5 in the character length. It will alert a box that will say, please provide a zip code in the format of number. And then once again, we're going to do the same thing, returning the focus back to the input box. Here is going to give us the value if it's not returned for the actual country. If it's a -1, meaning it's not been an option that's been selected, we're going to go ahead and provide an alert box that says, please provide your country. Return false will end the propagation or the bubbling, and also the default. Go ahead and take a look at the code and make sure that you include all validation within all of your files.